Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Zero Davila. Welcome back to Save Our System IT. Today I'll continue with part 5 of our Busybox series. Df displays the amount of disk space available on the file system containing each file name argument. If no file name is given, the space available on all currently mounted file systems is shown. Disk space is shown in 1 KB blocks by default unless the environment variable POSIXLY correct is set, in which case 512 byte blocks are used. If an argument is the absolute file name of a disk device node containing a mounted file system, df shows the space available on that file system rather than on the file system containing the device node, which is always the root file system. df cannot show the space available on unmounted file systems because on most kinds of systems doing so requires very system-specific knowledge of the file system structures. Diff analyzes two files and prints the lines that are different. Essentially, it outputs a set of instructions for how to change one file in order to make it identical to the second file. It does not actually change the file, however, it can actually generate a script with the -e option for the program X which can be used to apply the changes. The dirname command strips the last part of a given file name, in effect outputting just the directory components of the path name. Dirname outputs each name with its last non-slash component, trailing slashes removed. If name contains no slashes, dirname outputs a single dot, meaning the current directory. Dmesg, meaning display message or driver message, is a command which will show kernel ring buffers. These messages contain valuable information about device drivers loaded into the kernel at the time of booting, as well as when we connect the hardware to the system on the fly. In other words, the message will give us details about hardware drivers connected to and disconnected from a machine and any errors when hardware driver is loaded into the kernel. These messages are helpful in diagnosing or debugging hardware and device driver issues. The dnsdomainname command just prints out the DNS address of the machine. All Linux systems have a DNS domain identifier, and its purpose is to identify a certain machine in a bigger local area network. In case we have hundreds of machines on a local area network and we don't want to memorize them all by IP address, then all we have to do is set up a local DNS server and identify them by their DNS address, which can be anything. In a corporate environment, it can even be the employee's name. The dos2unix package includes the utilities dos2unix and unix to dos to convert plain text files in DOS or Mac format to Unix format and vice versa. In DOS text files, a line break, also known as a new line, is a combination of two characters, a carriage return followed by a line feed. In Unix text files, a line break is a single character, the line feed. In Mac text files, prior to Mac OS X, a line break was a single carriage return character. Nowadays, Mac OS uses Unix-style line breaks. Binary files are automatically skipped unless conversion is forced. Non-regular files, such as directories and FIFOs, are automatically skipped as well. Symbolic links and their targets are by default kept untouched. Symbolic links can optionally be replaced, or the output can be written to the symbolic link target. Symbolic links on Windows are not supported. Windows symbolic links are always replaced, keeping the targets unchanged. dos2unix was modeled after dos2unix under Sun OS Solaris and has similar conversion nodes. The du command is one of the most popular Unix commands. It's used to quickly estimate and report disk usage by a certain directory tree. All figures are reported in n blocks of data consumed by each object. While most commonly used block sizes is 1024 bytes these days, you can easily override this if you have to. It's flexible enough to report sizes of only specified directories, full directory tree, or even size of each file. There's no faster or easier way to find out what's consuming most space on a certain file system. You usually run do for a high-level overview, and once the largest directories are identified, you use the find command to highlight the largest files within them. The simplest form of using do is when you run it with no additional parameters. In this mode, do will scan your current directory and all subdirectories of it to calculate usage stats. By default, you get a usage reported by all the directories found under the specified or default location. Be careful with default do behavior because depending on your Unix OS, it may use different block sizes for reporting the size. Older systems would use 512 byte blocks, while most of the recent releases would use 1024 byte ones. To avoid any confusion, get used to specifying the desired block size with the -k parameter. Dumpkmap is a command that receives as an argument a binary keymap file after an arrow to the left and prints out a binary representation in standard out of a keyboard map. Keymap files are maps that identify every key on a keyboard. Because every key is just a button, the kernel must decide what that button means and how it should interpret it. What does it do? Keyboards usually differ on different models and also geographical origin. It also plays a part because different countries have different standards. My machine currently uses a keymap called Vorak. And that's about it for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Any questions you might have are to be left down in the comment section or on our website www.sosit.co. Again, that's www.sosit.co. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.